So, good evening, everyone. This is Mazezoke once more. And see, Nigeria is a very, very interesting place. See, when you say you're not going to make any video, you want to take some rest, the things that keep happening in that country will always push you to say something. Isn't that an absurd society? Okay? Now, for this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. The Fulani headsmen, the call to arrest Obasanjo, and the killing of the daughter of the Yoruba, or rather Afanifere group, and equally the invitation of Ralf Uwazurike. Okay? Now, the Apex Fulani Social Cultural Organization in Nigeria, that is the Miyettti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, has criticized Woloshenka for blaming herders for the insecurity in the country, while calling on the arrest of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Jesus Christ. Nigeria is a joke. It's really a joke. Now, these guys, I don't know if any of you have read the letter Obasanjo wrote. Check the description of this video. I'll put a link there. Obasanjo basically, I've read that this morning. Obasanjo basically said that, the country is drifting, that Buhari should seek help from ex-governors, ex-service police, ex-president, anywhere that he can get help. I think, hate Obasanjo like him. This current letter that he has written is one of the best things that has happened in recent time, because the letter was so timely. Now, if you guys remember, if you ever remember El-Rufai doing a memo to the president about 2 years ago, that it's the same thing, because in that memo, El-Rufai actually stated clearly the things that he believes should be done. Yeah, and it's not about just criticizing the government, but giving a very, very well thought out suggestions on how to deal with the issue. It's something Obasanjo has done here. Obasanjo has actually marshaled out the problem, the perception of the international community, and what he thinks should happen. And that's a very, someone who thinks. Now, suddenly out of the blues, we are still dealing with the 30 days ultimatum that is now left with, basically 2 weeks to go. And the same headers, or rather the same, Miyettti Allah, or rather the Fulani stock, comes out again to say, whoa, arrest President Buhari for writing letter. The same applies to Professor Woloshenka. Who do these people think they are? Do they think that they can pocket every single Nigerian? Whenever a bird dances in the forest, look around who is beating the drum. Someone, somewhere, is beating the drum for these guys. What was Obasanjo's? What was the content of Obasanjo's letter? Obasanjo has written an open letter to President Muhammad Buhari on the prevalence of insecurity in the country. He basically called for a national dialogue where the Fulani and other ethnic nationalities, ethnic groups, can be open about their grievances that have led to this insecurity in the country. Okay? So that is what Obasanjo said, basically, and that is why they are calling for his head. This is unbelievable that this is happening. Now, you remember Chief Ralf Uwazurike of Masob? Yeah? Chief Ralf Uwazurike did a mere video with his freaking phone, with his telephone, not on studio, not on any channel. What happened? Voila! The DSS in Owerri invited Ralf Uwazurike for questioning. That was last Friday. Ralf Uwazurike was invited. For doing what? For saying that the Southerners should not accept Ruga. That was his crime. Yet, on a national TV, everybody watched it on channels. If by now, I believe over 100 to 150 million people have watched this video, where a whole nation of 200 million is being threatened, where a president, a commander-in-chief of the armed forces is being threatened, yet not a single person invites these guys making this threat, giving the people 30 days ultimatum to accept Ruga or Armageddon falls. Yet, not a single invitation. No one is invited for questioning. Okay? Remember the Are Onakakamfo Chief Gani Adam, when he gave a stem warning to the Fulani onslaught, what happened? Voila, again, an aide of the IGP, Inspector General of Police, was deployed to interrogate the Onakakamfo, that is Gani Adam, why he would have made such statement. See, in the Yoruba land, it's happening. In the Igbo land, it's happening. The only place where they can speak freely, it's only, within the Hausa Fulanis. But here we are, a Fulani anarchist by name Suleiman Abdulaziz, who threatened both the president and the non-Fulani section of this country with a 30-day ultimatum, is walking free around. Yet there is no invitation, no arrest, no interrogation. If you recall, there was a clash between the Yorubas and the Arewa community. I think that was Ile-Ife in 2017. The aftermath was that about 23 Yorubas, including their monarch, was arrested, interrogated, and taken to the force headquarters in Abuja. No single Arewa community leader, not even a suya seller, not even a megad was arrested, not even a megad was invited. And that's what we call justice Nigeriana, justice Nigerian style. All heads are, you complete it. All heads are not equal. That means there are people who are more Nigerian than the others. Imagine all that. It brings to mind the issue raised by U.S. Ambassador, Simpson of the U.S. in his instructive independence anniversary speech on the 4th of July, if you guys remember. He spoke about the citizens and the subjects. A courageous statement indeed he made that summarizes Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari. Even if he didn't put it so undiplomatically, as Njenje media would say it the way it is. Because what is Njenje media doing? They explore the truth behind the headlines. The Fulanis are the citizens, while the rest of us are the subjects. Now, think about this. In southern Nigeria, must refuse to be subject and must certainly reject becoming slaves. We, in the southern Nigeria, it is time for us to come together, collectively refuse to be subjects. And certainly we must reject becoming their slaves. This nonsense is getting too much. What is the implication of, inviting Ralf Uwazurike and interrogating, inviting and interrogating Chief Ralf Uwazurike and the Are Onakakamfo, that's Gani Adam, vis-à-vis the non-interrogation of Mr. Suleiman Abdulaziz? It means southern Nigerians must rise up to the occasion. Don't forget that Nigeria Constitution says that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. I think that was in section 14.2b of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. Where is that primary duty of government if no life is safe? My heartfelt sympathy goes to the families of Fasoranti and Olakumri family over the murder of their daughter. and the wife, you know, in a broad daylight, in a space that is under the legitimate authority of the federal government of Nigeria. This is not the first time these things happened. She was murdered last Friday. According to the younger brother, because the thing is, you know, the convolution and the confusion is getting really irritating. According to the younger brother, in a video that, you know, I think was released by Sahara Reporters, he said his his sister was killed by the headsman. That even the DPO, when he got to make the statement, said so. You think that's not, you know, that's not correct? Then watch the video again here.
Cannot be determined now, but what I know is that we had some drivers that we rescued from there. They have made useful statements to us that will aid us in unraveling this.
My name is Njenje. I'm the deceased younger brother. When we got to the station yesterday, the police guys there told us right up front that it was Fulani headsmen, not bandits. So we need to get the story straight. Okay, I was here to pick up her body, and the way they operate, according to what the police said in Ore, is the way the Fulani headsmen operates actually. They had six people were in front of their car shooting at them. The driver put the car in reverse. Unknown to him, there was some in the bush already. They started shooting from the side, and some of them were in the back. So the story that these are just bandits, that's a lie. If you guys want records, you should request for the report that I made at the Ore police station. They will give you a copy of it. They categorically said it's Fulani headsmen. Listen, I mean, they're killing all of us. It's about time we stand up and fight back. Nobody is protecting us. Eventually what's going to happen, they're going to start coming inside the house and kidnapping people. So I mean, enough is enough. I mean, can you imagine how many people have been killed that doesn't have my father's influence? Just ordinary people. So this thing is got to stop. We can't continue like this.
Okay, so you've seen that. In his argument, his sister was killed by the headsman. This has been a reoccurring decimal. We saw the other video the other time on Okada, that's Benin Ore Road, where, you know, headsmen were shooting sporadically. You know, shooting. Normally, if these were to be, you know, local robbers or, you know, the normal highway robbery, they normally pick their targets. They pick people they know, they get them, they get money. Not just coming out, you know, wanting to take anything inside. These trademark belong to a particular set of people. Now, if as if the insult is not enough, in all this madness, rather than call a spade, what we say is the leader of the Yorubas, that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to come out and make this statement. Again, over the weekend, the vice president, the leader of the APC, that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Bisia Kande, they all visited the family and, you know, for a condolence visit. That's well and good. I mean, it's, you know, they've lost their life at this trying moment. You know, everyone can go and commiserate with that. Now, watch, you know, basically, let me not just even bother myself. This is Bola Tinubu. This is what Bola Tinubu says. Watch it.
Are you not concerned about this? Excuse me, I am extremely concerned about security. Okay? I don't want a stigma. I can go through history of kidnapping. And you are matured enough. We know how it started, where it all started. There are a lot of copycats. How many years ago have we faced insecurity in this country and cases of kidnapping? It's Evans who was arrested and the disclosure thereafter. Herdsmen. I don't want to be political. I will ask you, where are the cows?
Basically, what Bola Tinubu said in this video has actually offended some people. Now, what is the connection between Evans and this kidnapping? If we want to take apart the analogy used by Bola Tinubu, that is actually silly and nonsensical. You know why? Bola Tinubu questioned, say, if you say these guys are Fulani headsmen, where are their cows? And I laugh. Have you ever seen a shepherd that engages in armed robbery that would take his or her sheep to the highway to rob? Have you ever seen a motor pass seller that engages in part-time robbery that takes the parts that he sells as along when he goes on to do the job of the job of the underworld? Have you ever seen a plumber, a carpenter, a bricklayer, a painter take their equipment to match the street or on the highway? I've said here before, having been a victim where a family member has, very close to me, a sibling, has been involved on that same road, on that same Bini Ore road. That, it's the same template. On their own, someone just came out, about 3 guys came out, started shooting sporadically. So he had to stop, put his car on reverse, wanting to go back. Some people came out from the back. They had to stop. And they came there, picked them up like chickens and took them inside the bush. Yes, they did not have any cows there, but there is one thing very instructive. Because they divide themselves. Some of them will come to get, victims, while some are with the cows moving around in the bush. So the logic of Tinubu really, really falls apart. And this logic has actually gotten so many Nigerians aggrieved and angry. Sorry. Like Femi Kayode has said that the greatest danger to Nigerian democracy are not the Fulanis who seek to enslave us, but the handful of southern treacherous Yoruba politicians who have decided that their miserable lives, is to serve and worship them. According to Femi Kayode, these men are from Southwest, but he argues that these men are from Southwest, but they are not of Southwest. I do not know what Kayode is insinuating there. Now, if you had listened to Bola Tinubu again, it is an unbelievable speech, an utter crap. If you had listened to him, one would say, how could a man be so inconsiderate and insensitive as ever? It appears he was not there to mourn or commiserate with the family. It appears he was there just to play politics and speaks to his Fulani masters with the hope of getting the 2023 presidential ticket. How on earth does Evan, or what on earth has Evan got to do with the kidnapping of Igbos, to do with the targeting and assassination of Mrs. Funke? This is insane, and this is insanity. And why the obscene determination and desperate hurry to absolve the Fulani headsmen of this heinous crime? That is a question that must bug everybody. There is a pattern. The brother is saying the same thing. The DPO of that place, as you guys have seen in this video, is saying is Fulani headsmen. What is it? You see, the issue is that these guys may not even believe that they did it. But why would we rule out that completely? I think one thing that bothers me personally here is that sometimes we leave, issues and we chase shadows. Why can't we? If these guys are Kenuris, if they are Hausas, if they are Fulanis, if they are Benin, if they are Igbos, if they are Yorubas, who cares? Just fish them out and deal with them. They are criminals. If they are criminals, so why would you want to rule them out that they are not Fulani so that you can... I mean, if you're not casting your net wide enough, how are you going to get the killers? Now, a question for Tinubu. Does Tinubu not know who the killers are? Why the rush to tell us it wasn't the Fulanis? Can he at least wait for the police to conclude their so-called investigations? Even for a confirmed, quisling and desperate Steve, this time Tinubu has gone too far, I believe. Funke has not been buried yet, and he's already pissing all over the bullet-ridden bodies. When you look at the car, it has every trademark of the Fulani and the way they kidnap, at least from a personal experience. But again, the government is trying so hard to remove the headsman tag and replace it with gunmen. If you remember over the weekend, the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, had a post on his Facebook. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan used headsmen. It appears that the Secret Service got to him, and Goodluck Jonathan changed that headsman into gunmen. Are you still in doubt who is running Nigeria? How many Nigerians are gruesomely murdered daily? What have the government done about this? How would arresting the killers of Mrs. Funke, if at all they would, atone those deaths that have been waved aside and are still basically not gotten anywhere at all? Lives are lost daily. Instead of meaningful actions to secure Nigeria, we lost in the debates about ethnicity. That's all we care. We are here talking about they are Fulani headsmen, they are not Fulani headsmen, and the criminals are running amok. We are here talking about arrest Obasanjo, arrests Wole Soyinka, yet those that threaten the whole nation are left to walk free. If you are ever in doubt that this nation is not one, look no further. The level of ethnicity and the politics, without even any atom of hiding it, that is happening now, it's unprecedented and it's alarming. It is our admission here that some are above the law and can live as they please, shouldn't they? Talk all over the country about different Nigerian communities defending themselves. That's the only thing we can only talk about now. Defend yourself actually with what? With stick. Where the police issues, orders, or rather the president issues executive order for everyone to surrender their registered guns. Yet, people that walk around with automatic weapons unregistered, no one is willing to disarm them. Do you recognize the course of unconcerned government are nurturing? This is unbelievable. Mazezo Oke says it loud and clear. Protect your land. Comb your land. It is your land, for Christ's sake. Comb it. The Southwest, enough. Enough. And the Fulanese, the Miyettti Allah, the Northern youth, do not push Nigerians. Do not push Nigerians. Again, I call and I maintain, Southern Nigeria, this is not a time to trade blames. It is a time for a strategic call for you guys to come together. There is a sense and there is a purpose in unity. In unity, you can do more. Do you live, do the lives of ordinary Nigerian matter? Why do we romanticize with crime? Of what use are of the flowery condolences when the government cannot address the insecurity, or when they only address these insecurities with their words? Why are the government not uncomfortable with the spread of insecurity? All they do is for Tinubu, Bisi Akande, and the VC, and the vice president to visit the family. And yet, after they left, nothing happens. Everyone goes back to the same crap. Nigeria, I shiver. Nigeria, I shiver. I can only ask Nigerian and the Yoruba nation to wake up. Wake up or be consumed. Wake up or be consumed. Now, watch your VP. He visited the Afenifere leader whose daughter was killed. That's your VP. Everyone, every day, our society loses its humanity. The deaths are now mere statistics, and that is the one that breaks the heart. Nigerians are only nothing but statistics. That's what they are now. They are counted in bags every day. The only reason why this is taking an outrage and what prompted Obasanjo to even write a letter is because that is the daughter of the Afenifere group. If that was an ordinary Nigerian farmer, nobody would hear. It will be among those statistics that people basically just talk about. These are individuals. Their life does not matter. As Nigerian hate from one course to another, it is unfortunately obvious, people, that government acquaintances to the situation amounts to nothing. Where they deemed it appropriate, they issue condolence message or visit the mourning family. This is unbelievable what is happening in Nigeria. These deaths are unprovoked. The Inspector General of Police promised to arrest criminals. How many has he arrested? Local or international interest in the lives now depend on whose lives are involved. Certain lives are more basically unimportant, in the same way certain criminals are important. This is a sad reality, and this is indeed a sad reality. In case we are still in doubt, this is a reminder that nobody is safe in Nigeria. Nobody is above the expensive riches of criminal. We government act directly from now. Well, we don't know. Will Nigeria bury divisive tendencies and hold their government accountable? Can Nigerians just go to Asarok and mount vigil and ask Buhari to act? Or they do something? No, they won't. Rather, they would only be interested in, assaulting and abusing each other. Let Nigeria be reorganized. Let every region in this country be on their own. Let the Yorubas be a nation of their own. Let this old Eastern Nigeria be a nation of their own. Middle Belt. If this happens, the people can protect themselves. They will have the control. Since you guys do not want to restructure Nigeria, let everyone go. Let everyone go. The marriage is not by force. If the marriage is not working, what is the best option that you have? You divorce. And divorce, I am calling. This is Maaz Ezoke. Very blessed.